Hello and welcome back. Firstly, welcome to 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm sorry I've been away for a while. I had big plans to get all of the rest of this series, this season, finished in 2022, but I got sick. So had no voice, couldn't do the voiceovers, so here we are. We're back and we're headed into Singapore for the round where potentially Lando Norris could clinch the world title. We DNF'd in Italy with an engine failure just off the back of a safety car. GASLY managed to win that race after taking out George Russell, so he had an absolute banger of a weekend apart from crashing, but he won the race, so you know, is what it is. We lost an MGH, not the first failure we've had. We've also lost the control electronics, but it is what it is. We should have enough engines to get us through the rest of the season. And as we head into Singapore, we certainly don't want to be taking any penalties. But let's see what we can do in qualifying. We're going to go for a run in Q1 on the medium tyre. I screwed up the tyre allocation, and so we've got a bit of a wonky set. So I thought, let me do my first run on mediums and see where we end up. We might be able to save a set of softs if we can go fast enough. It's a long track, this one. Completely missing the apex there. So if we can get a decent time, let's try it, right? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We are on somewhat decent pace as we come around the last few corners. I can't tell you what everybody else has done just yet, but we'll have a look at that after the lap. Coming around the final corner, up to the line. What's it going to be? A 1:38.9 currently puts us P5. Is that going to be good enough to get us through Q1? Yes, it is, on the medium tyre, no less. So through Q1 into Q2, no problem at all. And we've got some extra tyres. Carlos Sainz flying in the Ferrari, setting the pace. Losing Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Zhou Guanyu and Schwartzman. Mick Schumacher's got a penalty there. I wonder if he's taking engine penalties potentially. Into Q2 we go though, and we are back on the correct tyre, on the soft tyre, for our first run. See what we can do here. I love this track. It's one I used to struggle with a lot in 2021, but spent some time on it in this year's game, and it's a lot of fun. It's very technical, good fun. Looking to be a decent lap so far. Around the final couple of corners. P1, 1:37.3, ahead of Norris as well. Nearly 2/10 ahead of Norris going into Q3. So potentially a pole position on the cards for us today. GASLY all the way down in P8. And Alex Albon, Nicolas Latifi, Kevin Magnussen, Oscar Piastri in the Renault, and Yuki Tsunoda knocked out in Q2. Pretty much usual suspects. There's a bit of a gulf in terms of performance between the top 5 teams and the bottom 5 teams, so nothing really to report. But as we head into Q3, let's see what we can do. Can we stick it on pole? Left it quite late to do this run, even though we have got a spare set of tyres. I wonder potentially saving a set for the race, although the softs around here wear very, very fast, so we'll have to see what happens. Only a few minutes left in the session, currently sat in P10, having not actually set a time yet. What's it going to be then? So we come up to the line, round the final corner. P4 for us then, and we're going again. And on this lap we were improving by 2. We had 2/10 on our previous best time, and we've just thrown that all away coming out the bridge, and completely missing that apex. But into sector 3, it looks like we might be improving. Maybe not. We were, but yeah, it's going to be touch and go if we're actually going to make an improvement here. I don't know how much we need to improve by to get up a better position. I don't think we're going to do very much here. 10th gained and thrown away again. This is all over the place this lap. We're gaining time, losing time like it's going out of fashion. So what can we do as we come around the final corner? Hopefully gain a bit of time. A little bit, almost a 10th on our previous best, up into P4. We'll take that. There we go then, Lando Norris, of course, on pole position. Pierre Gasly had an absolute stonker in Q3, up into P2, Esteban Ocon P3, so we've got a McLaren-Mercedes situation going on here with us in P4. Perez all the way down in P10 in that Red Bull. He's not having a great time, is he?
Against the spectacular backdrop of the Singapore skyline, Formula One returns once again to do battle in what tends to become something of an endurance race, with the notorious sauna-like temperatures in the cockpit making for an extremely physically challenging race. The Marina Bay Street circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here, just 107 miles per hour. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ocon, Marshall, Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, Ricciardo, Russell, Perez and Alex Albon, Latifi, Magnussen, Oscar Piastri and Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Max Verstappen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Guan Yu Zhou, Schwartzman and Mick Schumacher. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Clutch bite is good, gearbox is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm the tyres and brakes throughout the lap, please.
All right, let's see what we can do here in Singapore. Lando Norris could take the championship. I'm not sure what the permutations are. Obviously, if he wins, he has a very good chance of taking the championship. I think if we don't score, it's pretty much a done deal. Gasly, though, up in P2, could be taking points off me today, which is not good. So we're going to have to try and get past him.
Parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out.
Obviously, no team orders.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights.
We're going to have to do it on the track ourselves as we wait for the 5 red lights to go out. And we are underway for the Singapore Grand Prix. Bit of a slidey start for me, and Carlos Sainz immediately getting past Charles Leclerc on the left-hand side in that Red Bull. We've got Russell alongside as well, and just about going to squeeze out Leclerc to hold on to P5, but we've lost a position, a crucial position for us at the start of this Grand Prix. That's never good. 31 laps to go, though. It's a long old race, and we could potentially make up more positions. You can see Charles Leclerc back there sliding around in the Red Bull. And we're going to... Oh, Pierre Gasly's going for a move potentially on the outside of Lando Norris. Didn't quite make that work. He wasn't really close enough, but he was having a look as we send one up the inside of Carlos Sainz. Just taking no prisoners here. We need these positions. And up we go, back into P4. And now we're going to try and chase after Ocon. But back here we've got Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc having a little battle as well, side by side as they go in towards Sector 3. Charles Leclerc's almost off the track there. Who's going to come out on top? They're still side by side. And I think Leclerc has had to yield. And Carlos is in the fifth position, ahead of Charles in 6th. But that gives us a bit of a buffer because they've been fighting so hard. We've got a nice 2-second gap here as we head to later on into the lap. And we've caught back up to Ocon. I reckon we can... Ocon's not going to be too much of a problem. He hasn't really had ultimate pace across the season, despite the fact he's in a McLaren that is very, very quick. You can see what Lando's doing with it, but I don't think he's going to be too much of a threat for us as we head towards the tail end of lap 1 into lap 2. Look, he's sliding around already. What does that say about the state of his tyres? After 1 lap, that he's sliding around already. And that's going to give us the opportunity to overtake going into turn 1. Can we do it? We were deploying a bit of ERS, decided to back off a little bit. Still under braking. We're going to get through and up into P3 onto the podium. Our teammate's up next. And he doesn't tend to yield too much. Nicolas Latifi here battling with Oscar Piastri for, well, it's not even for the points, is it? Just a bit of glory. And Latifi's come out on top. Wasn't expecting that in the Audi. And Fernando Alonso down in P14, he's going to have a little look potentially at the both of them as they begin fighting. They're side by side here. Who's going to come out on top of this battle, I wonder? Piastri round the outside on Latifi. And now Fernando is right on the back of Latifi in that Audi and potentially going to be looking to make a move in the coming laps. Lando Norris setting the ultimate pace as always with the fastest lap. He's just set another fastest lap as DRS is now enabled. We did go purple in Sector 3 though, so finding our feet a little bit, but we've got to try and get past Gasly first, and I don't think he's going to make that easy. He hasn't been making that easy this whole season really, so it's going to be an interesting one. We really need to be keeping on the tail of Lando if we need, you know, we need him not to win. Right here, we need to keep this championship alive as we have a look round the outside. Potentially it's gone deep, but he has covered us off as we set purple in Sector 1 there. So
use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy.
We are finding the pace.
DRS is being enabled this lap.
Yeah, all right.
We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS.
This has been a thing lately, just real delayed messages from Mark on the radio. Halfway through the lap, and he's now only now telling us that DRS has been enabled. Obviously, I know that. I've used it already, but it is what it is. He's a bit slow sometimes. Focus now, though, is can we get past Gasly? We need it, really. We really need to get past him sooner rather than later because Lando Norris is just going. He's gone. 2.6 seconds up the road already, and we're only 3 laps into this race. Give him another 5-6 laps, it's going to be 10 seconds ahead, so we need to be getting past Gasly. It's a real shame that we don't have team orders to some degree because Gasly's not actually in this championship fight whatsoever, and he's just holding us up. Bit of a slide there from him, and we get the better traction. Can we get him into turn 1 potentially as we come round the final corner right on his gearbox? We're going to be deploying ERS, opening up the DRS. He does not have DRS, remember. Going round the outside, can we get this done? Give him plenty of space. He is our teammate after all. And look at that red arrow. He's gone up the inside. He's taking us out.
Okay, you've taken damage to the side pods.
Look at the state of the floor damage. This is what happened. He just absolutely... He's taken himself out the race. Look, you can hear it last minute, just back on the gas. And he's also taken out Esteban Ocon in the process. Unbelievable. Look at this pile up here. Here's a slow motion. Just where was he going to go? I mean, I was committed to that line already. I don't think I turned in on him. He wasn't alongside me when I started turning in. And, I mean, what are we going to do now? Look, you've seen the state of the floor. The side pods as well, absolutely trashed. Safety car is out, and we're going to have to try and limp our way back to the pit lane. We've got no front wing, I don't think. Oh, we have got a front wing, but it's damaged. But orange floor damage. That's not good. That's gonna make this very difficult, especially around a track like Singapore where the downforce is pretty much maxed out. This is going to be a very long race as we slowly head back. We're going to pit, obviously. We're going to jump onto the hard tyres. Heading into the pit lane now. You can see I'm scrambling around trying to set my tyres to the right thing and make sure they repair the wing. And I've been disqualified. I've been disqualified for blocking the pit lane because I wasn't confident they were going to fix the wing with it only being green. Here's a replay. You can see I come in, I'm really slow. And at this point I'm trying to make sure they repair the damage. And then I get disqualified and off we go. That is a major blow. And unfortunately, like I said earlier, it's over.
Competing at this level at the very top is anything but simple. There's no catching
it's
them now,
over.
then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion.
Lando Norris is
Not just
a world
victory
champion.
Today, then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was. Speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races. And we saw that today with our winner.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure. And no doubt, they'll be celebrating tonight.
What a disaster. I mean, congrats to Lando. World champion. Very, very cool. But, mate, we're out of it. It's done. The best we can do now is P2. And we're not going to do that. We are going to close this chapter of the F122 driver career mode right here. And I'm going to come back with something pretty special. Next week, we're going to start a brand new series. And we're going to take a veteran Formula One driver, hopefully, to another world championship. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to see that, stick around. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave us a little comment if you enjoyed this video. Like the video. And I will see you for a brand new series in the next video. Bye.